detectives, and welcome to a really special day for me. Today, the day I'm filming this, is the official UK and Irish publication day of the Guggenheim Mystery. Now, I know I've been talking about this book for months and months, but today and from now on, you are finally able to buy it. You can go to the bookstore, you can go online, and you can finally get yourself your own copy of this book. Now, to celebrate this, I thought I would do something a bit special. I thought that I would read you a little bit from the Guggenheim Mystery to get you interested, to show you a little bit about what it is about. So, to set the scene, this book stars Ted Spark, who lives in London. His first mystery was set in London, and it is The London Eye Mystery by Siobhan Dowd. But this is the sequel, and it sees Ted going with his family, with his sister Kat and his mum, to America, to New York, to the Guggenheim Museum, which is where his Aunt Gloria is a curator. Ted is really excited about going to the Guggenheim Museum because it is beautiful and round, it's full of patterns, it's very soothing and calming and white. But unfortunately, when Ted actually gets to the museum, he sees that it's not soothing and calming at all. It's actually in the middle of a gallery changeover, which means that all the paintings are coming off the walls, there are lots of work people moving around, drilling and hammering and hoovering, and it really stresses Ted out. He gets really, really upset. But that's not the only thing that happens that day. While Ted is feeling upset, there is suddenly a fire alarm. Everyone panics, everyone rushes out of the museum. And while they're out of the museum, a painting is stolen. And Ted has to find out what happened to it before his Aunt Gloria is blamed for it and put in prison for the theft. So what I'm going to do now is read to you from chapter 10, and chapter 10 is called Fire, Fire, which I think you can probably tell what is happening in chapter 10. So, chapter 10, Fire, Fire. "Don't be silly, Ted," said Mum. "It's just, oh." Suddenly, a new noise went shrilling through the air. It was very high and loud, and it made my hand shake itself out so hard that it hit my sister Kat. She yelled and hit me back. I glared at her. "Oh, good Lord!" cried Aunt Gloria. She rushed us out of the tower gallery and back into the main rotunda building of the Guggenheim, and I saw that thick white smoke was billowing up towards us from the first floor, filling the round main space of the Guggenheim. "Fire!" gasped Aunt Gloria. "Oh, Lord, not today, not now! Faith, take the children outside, quickly. Sandra, help them. Go out through the front door, it's quickest. I need to stay and send everyone else out that way. I'm a fire marshal, and I have to make sure they're all safe." Sandra rushed us down the ramp to the first floor, through the thick cloud of smoke, and then motioned us out of the spinning door that we had walked through earlier. "Go on," she said. "Go and wait outside on Fifth Avenue. I have to go back for the others." Mum's hands were grabbing hold of me, her nails scratching my neck. I wriggled, but she ignored me. We ran out of the main door, coughing and rubbing our eyes. A crowd of tourists was gathering, talking and pointing at the smoke. It was very thick now, and even through the spinning door's glass, I could not see anyone inside. I looked at Salim, and I saw his eyes were wide, and his mouth was very thin. "Is Auntie Glo going to be all right?" Kat asked. "Of course she is," said Mum, but her lips were thin too. "She just has to make sure everyone else is all right. Salim, Kat, wait here, and don't worry." We watched the doors. Then they spun open, and the people who had been working in the museum began to come out, coughing like we had been. I saw the stocky, freckled white man from the maintenance crew, along with another man I had not seen before. He was medium height, and he had brown skin and lots of dark, curly hair on his head and face. He was wearing a dark blue Guggenheim uniform. Then I saw the red-haired woman. Sandra came to the doorway and ushered out the skinny black boy, who I now saw was not much older than Salim, and had his hair cut in a big square round his thin head. And then an old black man. This man was very short and small, with a small white beard, and his eyes were crinkled up in his wrinkly face. The Chinese woman with a ponytail followed him, striding along, her wide mouth twisted up and her nose wrinkled, and then Lionel, who was not smiling any more either. Lionel was the security guard. The red-haired woman was running when she came outside, her pink cheeks puffing out, and so was the old man. But Lionel and the boy and the Chinese woman moved slowly. I thought that they must be telling their bodies to act calmly, and I was impressed. They all gathered around us. Sandra, Aunt Gloria's helper, was standing just outside the door, her blonde hair coming out of its bun. Lionel, the security guard, was shouting something into a mobile phone. Everyone's arms and bodies were very close. I could also hear sirens coming from behind me and to my right, and the alarm was still going. Smoke poured out of the Guggenheim's main door every time it spun open, thick and white, and I realized that in a few minutes I might see the fire. I imagined it like a tongue, licking at the inside of the building. This made me think about all of the atoms of wood and paint turning to atoms of charcoal in the fire. It seems like a magic trick, but it's only chemistry. "Thank heavens there aren't more people in there," gasped Mum, watching the smoke. "Though, goodness, think of all the paintings." "But they're priceless, Mum," I said sensibly. "Priceless means expensive, you neek," said Kat. This was very mean Kat of her. Neek is what some people at my school call me. It is a cross between nerd and geek, but worse than both. Then I felt angry at people who do not use words in a scientific way. How could priceless mean exactly the opposite of itself? Salim's face twisted up, and he said, "Aunt Faith, Mum's all right, isn't she?" "Of course she will be," said Mum. "She'll be out in a moment." But I was worried that she might be telling a lie. And that is chapter 10 of the Guggenheim Mystery. And just one more thing before I go, which is that I thought I would show you Watson, because a lot of you have been writing to her and have been drawing pictures of her. So here's Watson, and Watson says hello. She's very well, and she's very grateful that you keep drawing her pictures and writing her letters, and she says thank you to you all. So thank you from me and Watson, and goodbye.